Today we're taking a look at the Guardian Optics Guard from Radian. Let's get right into the first 30-second breakdown. That's where in the first 30 seconds, give or take, I give you guys my exact thoughts on this product before we get into the full review. That way you can just stop watching because now you know exactly why I think about this product, or you continue watching and find out why I say those things in more detail, and it does help out with the YouTube algorithm. This is an optics plate that goes onto your MOS or your PDP. For now, there will be more coming here in the future, and it mounts up with like your Trijicon RMR, your EPS, which is what I have here. And the gist of it is a plate here on front that protects your optic from any strikes, or if you manipulate your slide with your optic like some people like to do, or if you are doing one-arm manipulations and you have to rack it off your belt or an object, it protects the front of your optic, and it does a really good job of it. It looks good, it's not too large, and another nice feature is they come with backup iron sights integrated in here if you want. It's an option, you don't have to do it if you don't want to, but you are able to add those if you would like, so you have the ability, if for some reason your optic does go down, you still have backup iron sights that you don't have to run anything like suppressor height in the back. Really not a ton to say about an optics guard other than the fact, does it guard your optic? And this does a really good job of it. It protects the front glass of your optic from any kind of strikes, and it does it well. I've done some light testing on it, and I did not have any problems with my optic or the optic coming loose with the plate. A really cool feature about this is how this actually mounts your optic. Normally you would screw them down. This one actually has the threads going from the bottom to the top, and this allows you to get more threads when screwing on your optic. That just allows it a less chance of unscrewing or stripping or having any kind of problems, which I'll show you some B-roll. It's just kind of hard to explain, but it is a much better lockup in my opinion. They have O-rings on these screws on the bottom that actually connects to your slide, and that helps prevent any kind of corrosion or any kind of moisture getting in between your plate and your slide and causing problems later down the road. This plate is gonna run you $160, or if you want the integrated size, you're looking at $210. I'd like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Exothermal Technologies. This is the Pulsefire, and it's a flamethrower. It's a flamethrower that you can legally own as a civilian. I think that is super cool. This one, you can use this handle here to be able to use it. Makes it a little bit lighter and easier to use. Like you'll see here in the B-roll, my grandpa using it. He is 83 years old, and I've never seen him so excited to come out to the house and play with something. But you also can actually mount this to a firearm on a pick rail, so you're able to put this as like an under barrel attachment like you would in a video game. There's no other way to explain this other than that is just cool. Being able to attach a flamethrower on the bottom of your gun and just flamethrow things. So realistically, I used this for our burn pile. We had a big brush pile that we moved while we were trying to get the yard all squared away, and this was very helpful in that because I tried lighting that thing on fire for a while, and using this was actually a really easy way to burn brush. So if you guys want to use code ACC20, that'll save you 20% on all accessories if you purchase a flamethrower at the same time. Again, I want to thank Exothermal Technologies for sponsoring the video. Cannot do stuff like this without these companies that help support the channel. And let's get right into the video. Let's get into my relationship with Radian. They did send me this pre-release, which is cool because I'm able to get this tested before it's released to be able to give you guys information. Hey, is this a good product to purchase on the release date? Or maybe it's not exactly what I'm looking for, so I don't want it. That way you can spend your money in the right way. So now let's get into the full review and go over all the things I said in more detail. This is a pretty cool system and fairly unique. And a question I'm gonna get asked quite a bit is, why do you need this? Is it even that important? So if you are having a purpose-driven firearm, say concealed carry or duty use, then yes, I think it is important to have durability for your optic because you're going to be using this to potentially protect your life or somebody else's life. If this is just a plinking gun or a gun that you just have because you want to go have fun at the range or show off to friends, do you really need an optics cover? No, I don't think so. This is more designed for your duty style firearm that you are gonna want as much durability as possible. And I don't think you can overkill durability as long as you're not sacrificing like size, weight, and all these things. I don't think this does. This isn't any bigger than the Holosun 509T that I had on here, which was originally the optic that was running on here. I absolutely loved it, but this isn't any bigger than that. It's not much heavier. It's made of lightweight material that's not gonna be obnoxious, but it's still very durable. They make it even better by adding the integrated backup sights, so you have the ability to have backup sights if you want them. And I really do like the fact that they're there because you don't have to buy suppressor height sights and throw those on. These are fairly easy to put on. Then it actually has a plate here on the back, which I think is cool, that covers your slot for your backup iron sights, because I wasn't going to take those off because I don't like the fact that it would just be a empty dovetail notch and it kind of look goofy. So they have a plate that covers that to make it a little more flush so it doesn't look so goofy. So these currently only fit 2 types of firearm and 2 different red dots. So you have your PDP and your Glock MOS. And then for your red dots, it is the EPS and the RMR. Why did they choose those 2? I don't really know, honestly. The RMR makes sense because that's a really proven optic and a lot of people go with that. But I'm curious about the EPS. The only reason I can think they chose it is because it's smaller, but it still gives you that enclosed optic. So I'm glad they chose it because I like the EPS. I think the whole EPS line and the enclosed line from Holosun is really good. So I'm glad they chose that. And plus I had one of these extra laying around, so it worked out. So I threw that on there. But I think it makes a good size. It doesn't make it too large, because I feel like if you did it on like a 509 or like an Acro, it would just make it even bigger and maybe a little bit too obnoxious. But with the EPS, I don't think it's too large or too in your face with this addition on there. Now, if you have a different optic or a different firearm and you're like, man, I really want this, but it's just not for my gun, don't worry. Radian is going to be coming out with more. This is just what they started out with. They wanted to come out with a couple options to start. I think Glock MOS was one of the first, just because a lot of people do have the Glock MOS and they're fairly cheap and easy to get. So that's probably why they went with that one. But do not worry, they will be coming out with more options and more optic options as well. So those of you that might have a different handgun and a different optic, there will be something coming your way here soon. So for price, a lot of stuff that Radian puts out is fairly expensive, but for good reason. They make really good products. Their charging handles are one of the best on the market, and my personal favorite, the Radian Ramjet, is the best pistol compensator I've ever personally used, and I kind of want to put on this gun because I think it's a sweet setup that has both their setups. This is my personal concealed carry gun. This is my go-to concealed carry gun, for those of you wondering, and really nice setup. Super happy with this gun, very comfortable with it. But for price-wise, this is $160 just for your plate and your cover. A lot of people will probably be like, okay, that's a lot of money for just a guard, but technically you're getting a plate with it too. A lot of people will spend extra money, anywhere from $50 to $100 on an aftermarket plate to go on their guns, because MOS is known for not having the best plates out there. So I always recommend replacing the plates with something nicer. I usually go with CH Precision plates. This, you don't have to buy a plate because it comes with the plate and the guard. So if you look at it in that sense, okay, I was gonna spend $50 to $100 on a plate. This one's $160, so I do get a guard with it as well. And then if you add the sights, it's only $210. I was really surprised by that, because some aftermarket sights, like suppressor height sights, can run from, again, $50 to $150. I mean, they can get pretty expensive, and these are really nice sights. It's integrated right here, like a lower 1/3, maybe less, I don't know. It's really low in your optics, so it's not in your way at all, because I'm not one that likes having suppressor height sights in your optic and like being an absolute co-witness, because I think it's annoying and in your way and I don't see the point of it. So I like having that lower 1/3 style. So it's really low, it's got a good look to it, not in your way. I'll show you a bunch of B-roll so you can see exactly what it looks like from behind it, like a POV look. This is made of 7075 aluminum, and the durability is gonna be pretty much your main question, is does it do what it's meant to do? It really does one thing, and that's protects your optic. Like I said, did some light durability testing, nothing crazy. I didn't go out there and just smash this against a wall 100 times, but I did some manipulation with it, some one-arm manipulation, some stuff against objects. I've been doing this all the time with it, and I haven't had any problems. So durability-wise, for those of you that are gonna use this as it's intended, I don't think you're gonna have any problems, and I think the lockup is really nice. Really like the way they designed this and the ability to have the studs coming up. It acts as a much stronger lockup for your optic, which is always a good thing. I never really loved the design of just taking 2 screws and screwing down into your slide, and your slide's constantly going back and forth and explosions happening. So it makes sense that they would sometimes come undone, or you would have sheared screws. I think this is going to help prevent that, or at least just be a little bit more durable. So it's new, so it's just going to be something I'm going to test. I can't say that absolutely because it's so new, but from the design and what I see, it makes sense that it would be more durable. The O-rings on the plate is a nice touch, because sometimes you can get moisture under your plate and in between the plate and the slide, and then you can cause corrosion. So you'll take this plate off at some point a year down the road and you'll be like, oh my goodness, like that is disgusting. The O-ring should prevent that and help keep a better lockup to prevent the moisture from getting down there. going to be something that we'll have to see with time. I'll have to update you guys later down the road. I'll take this all off and take a look, and then I'll keep you guys updated. So is this something I recommend and think you should purchase? I think if you are going to be doing duty use, using this for a work rifle, concealed carry, home defense, I think it's a great idea. It's really nice to have more protection without adding too much. Again, there's a fine line between being like, okay, let's make this as durable as possible, and like, okay, wow, you went a little too aggressive and you made this just too large, too big, too bulky, whatever the case may be. I think this is a good job of making it small, sleek, it looks good. Radian's always really good about design and making things aesthetically pleasing, which is always important. It's the #1 most important thing is looking cool. We all know that. But all jokes aside, I think it is really important for extra durability for those style of guns. If you're just a person that's like, yeah, just you have a planking gun, or I want to throw it on all my handguns that I have in my safe, I don't necessarily think you need that. I don't think it's that earth-shattering that you would want to put this on all your guns, unless they're all in a purpose-driven firearm role. It's cool looking, but it's not that cool looking to buy it just for the looks. This is something that you're going to buy because you want the extra durability for the front of your optic to protect that optic just in case something would happen. Hope this video was able to help you make a better purchase decision, decide if this is something that you would like to buy. Big thank you to Radian for sending this out pre-release, so I was able to test and get this video out to you guys early. I don't think this gets released until the 5th, I think is when they come. If you're looking to pick these up on the release date, go to Brownells, sign up for the email notification, and then you can use code TA10, and that'll save you 10% on your order. You can also use that basically on anything on their website and save 10% on orders $150 or more, but that'll just make it a little bit more cheap. My goal is always to help you make a better purchase decision, be able to spend your money in the right way, and hopefully this video is able to help you do that. Decide if, yeah, this is exactly what I want, or maybe not really what I'm looking for, and I'll pass on it for now. If you're looking to help out the channel, things I do here, there's a couple ways to do that down in the description. There are some discount codes from companies that I personally trust that you can use to save some money, and there is a link to my link tree that you can use to purchase some items, and any purchase using those links does support the channel. A couple companies support me in the things I do here: Howitzer, Brownells, and Hold Up Display. Hold Up Display makes these awesome racks. Brownells, you can use code TA10, save 10% off orders $150 or more. Take advantage of that. You can save a ton of money also on this product. And then Howitzer, the clothing brand that donates 5% of proceeds to charity. They donated a ton of money, over $1 million, and they actually collaborated with me on my own shirt. If you guys want to pick one up, there's a link in the description to help support the channel in that way if you would like. But other than that, super cool clothing brand. I wear their stuff all the time. Jeans, socks, shoes, shirts, hats, everything. Absolutely love them. They're always changing the design, so big thank you to them. Thank you guys. Appreciate you all.